So I'm up to my second Golden Age Superman villain, and this is the Toyman. And I'm going to show something real quick, which is I have to hold it sideways to show it all. The Toyman. And it has in here his biography and his statistics, and it says he is William Schott. First appearance, Action Comics number 64, September 1943. Real name Winslow Percival Schott. Occupation, toy manufacturer. Special abilities, toy-themed weapons including exploding balls, toy tanks that spray acid, and Superman action figures that really fly and have heat vision. This is not William Percival Schott. This is Jack Nimble. Jack Nimble was created in, I believe, 1974. He was the Toyman used in the Legion of Doom in the old Super Friends cartoon. And so if I could focus in here, there is the Toyman right there. That is Jack Nimble, not Percival Schott, or Winslow Schott. And at the time, Winslow Schott had gone into retirement as the Toyman, and Jack Nimble took over, clearly not with the approval of Winslow Schott. And Winslow Schott, after a few years, killed Jack Nimble. So Jack Nimble was not around very long, although I think he's got a pretty neat design. So there is Jack Nimble. And this is Percival Schott in his first appearance. Here's a more modern look at the terrible Toyman. That's how he was originally presented. There was also a third Toyman, which was Hiro Akamura, who I believe is Japanese, created in 2002. And that was a young boy, and he was a hero, not a villain like the other two Toymen. He was created by Don Cameron and Ed Dubrotka, and he had the third most appearances of any Golden Age Superman villain with 9. I believe it's 9, and I have all 9 of the stories. The final story was a team-up, a pretty cool team-up. I liked it, with Luthor and the Prankster. I always kind of put him and the Prankster together as, like, I kind of think of them as very similar characters. The Prankster was created almost exactly a year prior to the Toyman. And so the Toyman obviously sets himself apart from the Prankster in that he creates toys, whereas the Prankster was simply a con man. Both of them have far less appearances than Lex Luthor, but the Prankster's appearances were almost triple the amount of appearances of the Toyman, but the Toyman has had far more longevity. After the Golden Age, the Prankster kind of just fell off the radar, whereas the Toyman has had a much longer career in comics. So the toys that he would create were never a physical threat to Superman. They were merely used in the pursuit of his crimes and as a distraction. He's a classic villain who there's no reason for him to be a villain, because he could have just sold his inventions. In fact, later in some of the later stories, he creates some even more amazing inventions. He creates a crime predicting machine that is kind of like an AI. It's really impressive in what it's capable of doing, creating like a whole hologram of a crime to assist the Toyman in figuring out how he'll commit the crime. He also creates a kind of strange device that's able to read information from a person's handwriting. And that only makes a brief appearance, but it's so impressive that even the Toyman himself seems confused at how well it works. He constantly kidnaps Lois Lane, and so he also uses her to distract Superman. But when he first makes an appearance, he kind of came off as an even more psychotic character than the Prankster. He's in the Golden Age. He's a little bit older, probably near retirement age, because he does retire from toy making. Kind of round. You can see that he's not a slender guy here. He's in the original one, and he just decides to use his toys for crimes, which you just get the impression there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong in his brain. Wikipedia has him listed. The only superpower he has listed is genius level intellect, which is actually the same as what the prankster has. But I think it's a really good villain, and I think that there's a reason why he has had such longevity is because he is an interesting character. And although I have a real deep love of the prankster, I get why he kind of didn't survive much past the golden age. After the Toyman, I plan to do Ultra Humanite, and then Mr. Mixyez and I probably will not do J. Wilbur Wolfingham. I might, because there's only a few stories. And then Lex Luthor has 37 stories, so that will be quite a. Although I don't, I'm sure I don't have. I'm missing a bunch of the Lex Luthor stories, but that would be quite a project. But I will be releasing. There's 9 videos, and I'll figure out whether I'm going to do it over. Yeah, I'll probably do them all in a row rather than separate them into 3 weeks like I did with the prankster. I'll just release them all. So anyway, that is the Toyman Winslow shot created in September 1943.